Hi guys, hope you're having a good day. I want to talk today about where I massage horses and do I tie, do I not tie, etc. So let's talk a little bit about what ideally I try to do. Okay, so first of all, you always have to massage the horse that's in front of you. So you have to be able to adapt to whatever that horse needs. And if that means doing something a little bit weird, that's what we're going to do, because we're here to help horses. We need to help the horses. Okay? So that's number one. You got to help the horses. Okay? But let's talk about just kind of normal situations where you're going to massage ideally. And these are my opinions. You guys might find something else. But my opinion, ideally I would want to be in a pasture or a large paddock. Okay? And ideally I'd also want to be at liberty, so no halter, no lead rope. Okay? I want the horse to communicate to me every single thing that they want to communicate to me. And in a large pasture or paddock, they're going to be able to do that better and at liberty. So they can move around, they can look at you, they can feel comfortable, they're not going to be claustrophobic. You know, you'd also have mochas coming down to you from heaven, and it'd be a nice 72 degrees. Okay, not too hot, not too cold. No flies. So, ideally, a pasture or paddock at liberty. Okay? One down from that, pasture and paddock with halter and lead rope. Okay? Sometimes there's just a little too much, or, you know, they have a habit of walking away a little too much and you need to keep a hold on them, or you're not comfortable enough to do that with them, and that's a safety thing. So make sure to always listen to your gut. Okay? So pasture paddock with halter would be next. After that, you have to kind of play it by ear. So would a hallway be good? Or would their stall be better? You have to choose where they would be more comfortable. If they are used to being in the hallway and they kind of hang out there, a little tack up area, and they hang out there a lot and they're really calm in that area, you can use that area. Or if that kind of brings up emotions, then you could do them in their stall. Or maybe if they're in their stall, their neighbors are like bugging them, or some horses are a little funny about their stalls. So you have to choose between either a hallway or a tack-up area and their stall. And again, I start at liberty because I want them to be able to move and kind of do what they want. But if that's not something I want to do that day, or I'm not comfortable with that, then they go with the halter and lead rope. And then lastly, which I don't do a lot, would be cross ties. I don't like cross ties. They limit the horse's ability to communicate pretty strongly. It's a pretty strong limitation when you put cross ties on them. They really don't. They can't release fully, right? So what if your horse wants to come around and scratch its rib cage? That's not going to happen. What if they want to yawn and do a big old ugly yawn? They can't do that. What if they want to point to an area that they're trying to tell you needs work? They can't do that. They can't scratch their head on their legs. Okay, so a lot of limitations with cross ties. Now, I will do cross ties sometimes. Okay, and in that situation, it is generally horses that are either a little bit too fidgety, and I need to they would take like a 3-hour massage if I had to kind of cater to all their demands, right? Because they start demanding, and we all know that. I've been doing this for a little while. So that would be one reason. But the main reason is if they're bitey or nippy, and I don't want to deal with that. So generally I will address that and not put them in cross ties, and they learn pretty quick who Boss Mare is. But if that's not something I have time to do, or something that, like if I really need to focus on an area on their body that they're having issues with, then that's not something I'm gonna do. So I'll put them in cross ties, and I take them out every once in a while so that they can kind of do what they need to do. If they need to release, if they need to yawn, if they need to point to something, I'll take them out of those cross ties so that they can do that. But I don't like cross ties. I guess another one before that would be you can hard tie them or tie blocker them in a stall or in a hallway. That's one thing you can do. So yeah, that would be before the cross ties. Cross ties is my least favorite, and it really dampens their ability to communicate and release, and that is the last thing that I want to happen. Okay, but safety first. And if that's how you're comfortable as you're learning how to do this, then I want you to do that and be fine with it. But just try to remember that your horse might have more to say than you're allowing them to say when they're in cross ties. Okay. Also, just be aware that you might have to change what you want based on the environment you're in. So feed times can be a little to massage horses. I do it because some of the horses I work on get fed 3 times a day, so it's almost always a feed time. Or if their buddy is leaving, you know, I can generally get their attention back pretty quickly if their buddy is leaving, just because I'll find a spot that they really enjoy. But that's something that you'd have to work around. Turn in, turn out times can be very difficult also. So something to think about. But do what you have to do to keep yourself safe, and then please think about what's best for the horse and how they're going to be able to communicate the best. And you can definitely, like, I don't generally ever start out with Liberty in a pasture with a new client, right? So it would be in a pasture with a halter and lead rope. And then when I get to know them, I do Liberty in paddocks all the time. I had a cool situation where I was working this Andalusian mare, very stoic mare, which you guys know I love them stoic mares. But I was massaging her. She doesn't like to release in front of me or around me. So she was at Liberty in her paddock, and I was doing some work on her, and then all of a sudden she starts walking off, right? And she goes to the far end of the paddock, and she stands there, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I'm just going to stand here and watch and see what she does. And then she all of a sudden started yawning, just like yawn, 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 scratching, shaking, rubbing, everything. So she went over to the corner of the paddock to release because she didn't want to release around me. And then after about, it was a long time. It was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. She like looked up and then came back over to me and was like, "You may proceed." So we continued our massage at that point, but I did not go after her or stop her or anything like that. And it was really a rewarding time for both of us because I got to tell that she enjoyed that very much and that she needed to release on her own without me up in her space. So that was some communication and learning that we both got to partake in. Okay, so I hope that helps. I will talk to you guys later. I just made it to my gym. Talk to you later. Bye.